Okay, time to talk about the trip. Let me get my assets. I mean, I didn't sleep that well because I went to bed around 2 and then I woke up to somebody's alarm nonstop going off at 5 a.m. So then at 5 a.m. I just got up and this is what it looked like. The sunrise. Wow. And this is the boat. And then, this is the galley. And where you eat and stuff. And there's a little kitchen in the back. Down there is the bunk. There's 2 entrances or exits. And then around that is the front of the boat. Fuck! What's the front of the boat called again? The bow or the stern? I can't remember. The bow. The bow is the front. Okay. The bow is the bow. It's bow. It's like a public dive. Yeah, you basically, how dive trips work is you go to a dive shop and you check out their schedule where they're diving and you tell them, hey, I want to sign up for this one, and you go. Or sometimes you can sign up directly with the people that own and operate the boat, so they usually will be under a company, but sometimes they work in collaboration with dive shops and then you just tell them and then they'll link you together. Dolphins. This was around 5:30. You see that? Dolphin! There was more, but I only caught these 2 on camera. That might have been the same one. Dolphins. A never ending! And then this was when we were approaching the island and there was a fuck ton of birds and sea lions and seals. You know what is another thing? So all this is kelp. This is all kelp, because this is a big kelp forest. The little, like, brown spots in the water. Is this another island thing? A shitty video. And then... is this when I got in the water? It's me. This is the first dive. I don't think yeah, we didn't go inside. We didn't go under yet. This one is not that high. You just do a big step and you just go. Did I record it? No, I didn't. Frick. I wish somebody recorded me. I really like doing the roll back into it. That's the one I did for the oil rig. That one is fun because I do a flip in the water. You get to whee! And then the underwater footage. I found this thingy. I don't know what the fuck that is. What the fuck is this? That is not a plastic bag. That is not a plastic bag. Is there another salve? I don't know. Not knowing. And there's the kelp forest to the side. We're kind of in a clearing. Where's my spear gun? I'm not spear gunning. There's a call for anemone. There is some anemone. The night where we were just sitting and talking and I found out about the horrific accident, on the boat they had a bunch of local species and marine life and I was just flipping through them and looking at some stuff. And then I found out a really cute starfish that I saw a bunch of is called the cushion starfish and the cookie starfish. They're very cute. I really like the cushion starfish because they look like puffy starfish. More of the kelp forest. And a lot of fish. I think I should have pulled my hood forward a little bit. Yeah, I was trying to push it back because my forehead was getting cold. What did I use? I'd use a DG Osmo Action, the newest one. I think it's 6. They also have automatic color enhance, which I didn't apply to. I applied it to some of them. I think. Yeah, and then this is just open water on the other side of the rock. And I think this was about 50 to 60 feet. Wow, isn't that pretty? Kelp forests are a cold water thing. You don't see this in the tropics. But kelp forests are California's specialty. Did I rent? No, I own all my gear. Only thing I rent is tank. You can tell if someone's a bougie bitch if their regulator has a swivel point, which I need because I don't like getting jaw pain from discomfort. Let me see what else is there. Oh, this was the footage from the boat. There was a lot of free divers. That's a dive flag. That means there's divers nearby. How much does it cost to do this? Expensive. Diving is expensive. Very, very expensive entry cost and expensive to go to trips. But your equipment you will be using for like 10 to 20 years once you buy it. The expensive reoccurring cost would be going on trips because you have to boat unless you live near the ocean where you can do shore diving. What is this? Oh yeah, it gets pretty dark in the kelp forests. And that's me. This is the second dive, so oh! Yeah, so after this dive, I surfaced and I threw up. Just in the water. I got up, I threw up, I think what happened was when I suited up to get in the water, everything is really dry, and then it also gets really tight because water isn't in it yet, and the sun was beating down on me, and I woke up late because after waking up at 5 because somebody's alarm kept going off, I went back to sleep because they were still going and they didn't have the briefing yet. And then suddenly I heard the dive master, the captain of the boat or whatever, go like, "Okay guys, so today we're gonna be and then I immediately like woke up, got the fuck out, saw everybody already had all of their gear on, and I was like, oh shit, and then I like quickly put on my wetsuit. I'm like fucking struggling and fighting for my life, trying to get it on as quick as possible. And then I get everything on, I put on my BCD tank, whatever, and then I noticed that I'm like literally sweating bullets, like, and my neck felt like it was getting choked, and I was like, oh, it's probably nothing, it's probably just really hot. And I've never felt sweating like that before, where I could actually feel huge droplets just coming down in the middle of my face. And I was like, it's probably fine, like, whatever. Because I did exert myself a little bit, squeezing into the wetsuit, which is pretty fucking annoying if you ever had to get in a wetsuit. I was like, it's probably fine, it's nothing. I get in the water, immediately the cool water, like, rushes into my suit, and I feel a lot better. I do the dive, I'm fine. The dive was about 25 minutes, and then, you know, when I get up, I do my safety stops, I do, the deco stops, whatever, and then I surface, and then I'm waiting for other people to get on the boat first because you wait for them to fully get up before you go. And as I'm just floating, I'm like, oh, I suddenly feel a little nauseous, and then I started drooling uncontrollably, and it's just water, like not water, but like drool, just saliva, just so much saliva coming out, and I was like, no, please, no, and then, and then I threw up, and it just, I was just going like, like pushing the puke away from me, paddling it away, and then I was fine right after. And then I drank a bunch of water, ate a little bit, not too much because I didn't have that much appetite because I fucking threw up. But I think I might have been also dehydrated, and I didn't eat anything before the dive. It's a little something. Because I woke up in such a rush. And then, yeah, because I don't get seasick, and I wasn't nauseous on the boat or anything. It was literally when I surfaced, I fucking threw up, immediately was okay, drank a bunch of water, ate a banana bread, and then I did my second dive, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And then on my second dive, I put on the minion hood. A boy? Did people see me puke? I think like two of the people that I was diving with were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I put on the minion hood, but then I put on the fucking hood in a rush too, so then I didn't have a perfect seal with my mask, so water kept fucking leaking in. And then that's why I was like, in the video, I mean, maybe it's not in the video, but I kept trying to like clear it basically to make sure I have a seal on my face with the mask. Yeah, I know, all divers will puke at some point, and it happened. It finally happened. So this is the forest. With my minion hood. I think I was trying to adjust my mask here. Yeah, it's not, I can see it's not fully sealed properly here. That's why it keeps leaking. More minion. I do have a complaint about this dive, but I don't think there's any way that this person would find out I'm complaining. So this was the second dive. The first dive, I went with 3 other people who are also doing fun dives. We just do fun dives. If you're not doing a fun dive, you're there for a lesson. First dive, I asked if anybody wanted to lead. Only one person had been here before, but he was like, "Oh, I'm not super familiar with the area." And then I was like, "Okay, don't worry, I'll lead. I've also never been here." So when you lead the dive, that means you're in charge of navigating and everybody else will just follow you to make sure you don't get lost. You have your buddy system. So we went 2-2 and then the 4 of us together. I lead, whatever. When you start the dive, you want to swim towards the current, so then on your return trip, it's easier. I'm like, okay, I look at my compass, I'm checking my compass constantly, I'm checking the depth constantly, and I'm also like making sure that all my dive buddies are with me. We come back, we return, guess where we surface? Right next to the fucking boat, baby. Like, I was so fucking good with that shit. I knew exactly where we were so close, all the directions, I was following perfectly, I didn't get lost, great. Second dive, we didn't really say anything about who was leading or whatnot. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll just like follow somebody, whoever wants to lead, we'll just go with them. So then the older guy, the dive guy, just fucking books it. Like, he just swims in one direction and just goes there, straight in the direction that the dive master said not to go towards. And we're just like, okay, well, they said don't go too far into there because there's caves as you go near the cliffs and the rocks of the island, and these caves will suck you in and you can't get out, and somebody got sucked in there and died, and they found their body way down in Santa Monica or something. So he immediately starts swimming in that direction. I'm like, what the fuck? And me and the other guy that I found out later, like me and my dive buddy, when we talk about this later, we were like, yeah, I don't know where I don't think he knew where he was going. But we followed him because we have to stick together, and we're just like, okay, we'll just keep a safe distance. And at one point, I noticed that the rocks started getting like really high up instead of just like stopping. So I'm like, are we really close to the fucking island or something? And then, I think we finished it. We swam around a little bit. I don't think he knew where he was going. And then we eventually surfaced after 20 or so minutes, which is pretty much how long a dive will go. We surfaced and we are so close to the fucking island and so far away from the boat with kelp everywhere around us. And if you have to swim through kelp on the surface, it is the most fucking annoying shit because you will constantly be tangled. And then, so we're like, oh, haha, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I should have led this fucking dive. I am never letting another person lead a kelp dive unless they're a giga diver. I am never fucking doing that again. I am never giving that responsibility to somebody that I cannot trust. I'm really fucking annoyed at this point, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna go back down and swim towards the boat so that we don't have to deal with, like, crawling over the kelp on the surface. We go back down, the guy that was leading fucking disappears. So then the rest of the 3 of us are like, Where the fuck is he? The standard protocol, if somebody disappears, is you look around for a minute. If you don't see them, you surface and you wait for them. So we surface and we're like, where the fuck did he go? We don't see him. We don't see him. We don't see him. And then after like 4 or 5 minutes, he's on the boat already. He just fucking dipped. I'm like, bro, this guy sucks. and then we're just like, okay, well, I guess we'll just go back down and go towards the boat on our own. And then we went back and it was fine. I was like, dude, I was so annoyed because I'm like, okay, swimming through a kelp forest is already really annoying because you can get lost really easily and there's parts where it gets really dense. This dude just left, didn't communicate, didn't follow protocol, and just fucking dipped. Maybe it was because he's way older than us that he thinks he knows more or something. Because the rest of it was like me, I'm 27, this other girl that's 28, and the other guy was like 34 or something. And this dude was like 50 to 60 something. And he just dipped, and I'm like, dude, this is so annoying. Not only did you lead us to buttfuck nowhere, and it was a terrible route, and we didn't surface back, I got so annoyed. And I was so annoyed, and now I vow to, I will not follow anybody on a dive unless I am critically sure that they know exactly where they're going and exactly how to deal with kelp forests. But you know what else about that guy was like, there was another thing that happened. I didn't do the third dive because I got so tired that the nap-itis hit, because after the second dive we had lunch and then I was like, I'm so fucking tired, I'm going to sleep. So the other 3 went on a dive. I didn't. And one of them, the other guy, not the old guy, the younger guy, his tank wasn't on when he sank to the bottom. He so in the air, well, like on the surface, when he tested it, when he tried it, it was fine. Then when he got to the bottom, his tank wasn't on. So then he had to share air, like go back up. And then they checked to see what was wrong with the tank, and turned out you had to twist it really hard, because I think what happened was the handle for the valve must have been loose. Like, for example, if I had a like, let's say this is the valve, and then you turn it to open it. But then usually the valve has like a plastic grip over it, and what I think is the plastic grip must have separated from the actual valve itself. So when you were turning it to open it, which they say they turned it all the way, the grip must have it must have like disconnected from the valve itself, so it wasn't actually turning the thing. So then when I asked about what happened when they came back from the dive, because the old guy was there, I was like, oh, and he mentions, yeah, so they turned it all the way and it wasn't turned. And I was like, oh, so did the handle part like disconnect from the valve and it wasn't actually turning? And he goes, no, it just wasn't turning on, like that you had to crank it really hard to turn it on. And I'm like, that's what I just said. Are you fucking stupid? I didn't think that, but I was like, that's what I just said. And then because what happened was the tank wasn't fully on. If you have to really crank it, that means the plastic grip of the part disconnected, and you have to really hold it to make sure that it was turning the thing and not just the handle. So then at that point I was like, oh, you know, it kind of makes sense that he just ditched us. It was kind of giving seniority, but I think other than that, he wasn't like an asshole or anything, but it was just something I was like, girl, we're literally agreeing. What do you mean? Like, it was what I said. But yeah, that, and then, I mean, everybody was chill and they hung out, but I was like thinking to myself, yeah, I don't think I trust somebody else to do the navigation or leading a dive if they don't know what they're doing. Because another time that I dove in the kelp forest, I let somebody else lead again. Because this was around when I only had maybe 12 or 13 dives, and they led us way too close to the rocks, to the island again, and we pretty much had to, when we surfaced, we were pretty far from the boat, and we had to like crawl through the kelp, and I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna get really good at navigating now, so I don't have to do this. Because I need to make sure that I am confident in my ability to navigate. Thanks, March. Help! This is the Garibaldi. These guys. They're neon orange. Wait, let me check how many dives I'm at now. I think I'm at 20. Hold on, my phone was doing an update. I am at 20. I'm at exactly 20 dives. So once you have 40 plus dives, that opens a new tier of basically diving availability, in which some places you have diving opportunities available only for people that have their open water certification, advanced open water certification, and 40 plus dives. So that means I ranked up. Well, I'm halfway to ranking up. I still have a bit more. So then, because the boat was it was actually more spearfisher freedivers than scuba divers, they do hunting, so they'll hunt the fish, and here's the amount of fish they caught. This is sheephead. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4 sheephead. Fucking massive. Big chungus. And then, one of my friends caught where'd it go? Caught a yellowfin. This is also freaking massive. And then there was also a bunch of uni that they caught. They're fresh, and look, it's moving. Whoa. Did I try any? Yeah, I did. Let me show you the video of... I mean, I'm gonna put this all in the vlog if you... want to see the whole thing put together, but this is a spearfisher point of view. Oh, the fish. And then, where is it? Anyways, here's breaking open the uni. Is it always the same time? No, it's not a scheduled load. It literally just happens. It happens during the day, too. I'd be just on my phone and then it's not loading. Fucking annoying. Oh, this is POV, spearfishing POV, not me. Goodbye. Woo! Woo! You gotta emote. Woo! And then what happens after when you spearfish? The usual procedure is you grab it and you kill it. You make sure it's dead by bleeding it out underwater to make sure less blood gets in the meat and stuff. Bye-bye, fish. Bye-bye. Yeah, so the scary part about this is sometimes people, when they hunt smaller fish, they'll hook it on something on their belt, and then seals and sharks and sometimes sea lions or whatever will come and try to steal it from you. So they might bite your ass because they're trying to take your fish. That does happen. I mean, it's rare, but it does happen. Because they want your fish. And then we And then that's me, and then we made sushi while they were filleting the fish. And then they one of the lead divers was like, "Daph, you want to help make the roll the rice?" I was like, "Okay." So I just learned how to do it. But I mean, it was very straightforward. It wasn't anything fancy. And then this was all the sea urchin they deshelled. And I rolled all of it. I rolled all the seaweed ones. That was a clean one. Yo, that was a good one. Yeah, and then the guy that asked me to to roll it when he was like, okay, you do it, and then he left, and then he comes back after, and I had like 2 plates full. He comes back and he's like, wow, very good, because his English isn't super good, but then he was so excited. I was like, yippee, I didn't fuck up. Oh, yeah, this is when they put the uni on the boat, because this is on the trip back. Since the boat ride is gonna be about 4 to 5 hours ish, and then this is also the filleting. And the seagulls, well, you don't see them here, but they're usually perched on, they're perched on the other side. They're just perched and they try to fucking steal your meat. Let me see. Look, this is me trying to threaten them. With my chopsticks. Go away! One of them almost stole an entire fillet. Oh yeah, here's more of the sushi. And sashimi. A lot. I should have filmed more. Damn, I really don't really film that much. And then a bird pooped on my bag too. I did record. Here's a really good video. It said you have to flush for 30 seconds, dude. Damn. Wait, what is this video? Oh, this is when I was. Oh, this was in the kelp forest, and it was a bit dark. So I turned on my flashlight. Eh. Eh. But yeah, that was fun. I'm probably gonna combine this footage with the oil rig dive. But I kind of fucked up the oil rig dive because I didn't put the case on the waterproof case on properly. So I didn't get as much deep footage, but most of the sea lions playing were near the surface, so I got that. I use a DJI Osmo Action 6. DJI. I think the oil rig footage is one of my favorites. Look at that. Just twirling. This is my favorite. Yippee! Well, oil rigs are actually very great ecosystems for marine biology because they become artificial reefs, because they provide structure for basically sea life to grow and attach on. So then in that, it attracts fish, and if it attracts fish, it's going to attract sea lions and other larger animals. Yeah, it's like they're like artificial reefs. Unless they have a spill and then it's uh-oh stinky. Time to play Black Flag, yep! Yeah, and they get a shade. That's true. Do they make scuba dive free or mouth? No, because you need your mouth for regulator. Usually the very expensive dive computers will let you text somebody else with a same dive computer program. A whole face regulator is actually dangerous. Or like a whole face mask. Because you want to keep your vision and your breathing separate. But also, you know, you should never ever give air to a freediver. Like, if you're scuba diving and a freediver comes and says hi, and you give them air, they will die. Because the compressed air that they get in their lungs, when they go back up, they'll explode. It's very, very bad. You should never do that. Yeah. Thinking you're doing a little quirky and then their fucking lungs collapse. Yeah, my hair turned blue from the ocean, it did. But I got my Nitrox Air manual. I actually don't even think I'm going to use it, but I'm just fucking collecting shit. Basically, enriched air is you can dive longer, but you can't go as deep. I don't even think I'm gonna need it or use it, but I just want to know how it works.